Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is English Bulletin. With me, it's Bhadra. The top stories first. 14 more reported dead from COVID-19 infection in the country. 1359 new cases confirmed in the last 24 hours. Nepal can conduct 18,000 PCR test. Health Committee upholds, warns of refraining from following false rumours. Health experts urge for more effective control measures from the government. Situation in the valley could get worse in a month's time. A UN watchdog reports Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium 10 times the limit. IAEA reports 300 kg more stockpile than permitted. And host England pull off a remarkable final over victory over Australia, lead the three-match T20 series by 1-0. And now, the news in detail. 13,059 new cases of COVID-19 has been diagnosed in Nepal in the last 24 hours. A total of 13,628 PCR tests were conducted in laboratories across the country on Friday. Of total, 464 cases were women, while 815 of the cases were men, according to the spokesperson at the Health Ministry, Dr. Jageshwar Gautam. With the latest addition, the number of coronavirus cases in the country has increased to 44,236. In the meantime, 1,354 individuals have recovered from the disease in the last 24 hours. This takes the total tally of recovered patients in the country to 25,561. Meanwhile, 14 more people have also lost their lives to the disease in the last 24 hours. The death toll from coronavirus in the country has now reached 71. Epidemiology and Disease Control Division has urged everyone to refrain from spreading false rumors about the coronavirus. Rumors of the disease being controlled by drinking warm water or homemade medications are being spread among the general public. Division Chief Dr. Vasudev Pandey has said people should be more careful while speaking about the coronavirus in public. In the discussion program of the Education and Health Committee of the Parliament, Dr. Pandey informed that the self-proclaimed experts in the field have been spreading rumours about the virus amongst the general public. In the meeting yesterday, Director of the National Public Health Laboratory, Dr. Runa Jha, informed that although Nepal has the capability to run 23,000 PCR tests daily, only 18,000 PCR tests can be conducted at present. Although the result of the swab test is generally released in 36 to 48 hours, it is difficult to provide results within the same time frame because of the unmanaged sample collection techniques, Dr. Jha added. The discussion was organized by the subcommittee formed by the government to monitor the activities related to the coronavirus in the country. Meanwhile, health experts have warned that unless effective measures to control the coronavirus will be taken in the next month, the disease could go out of control in Kathmandu Valley. In the meeting organized by the subcommittee formed to monitor the actions of the government with regards to coronavirus pandemic, the health experts have vehemently claimed that the same working principle in the Kathmandu Valley will yield devastating results in the next month. Public health expert Dr. Mahesh Maske in the meeting reminded the government that during these testing times, health professionals like frontline doctors and nurses must be encouraged to work in a safe environment. But instead, the government has not even provided minimum health equipment and a remuneration to the doctors. Professor Dr. Sujan Babu Maratha said if the community-level infection continues to spread in the valley, health professionals will also be at highest risk of infection, which can be devastating for the whole health system of the country. Communicable disease expert Dr. Anup Subedi said that it is disheartening to see that the basic health protocols are also not being followed in many hospitals in the country. Ayurvedic and alternative medicine expert Dr. Vasudev Upadhyay reminded the people to be cautious instead of unnecessary brazenness regarding the control of the spread of coronavirus. He added that more research has to be conducted on the effect of kitchen spices in the control of the spread of coronavirus, but said people have to maintain safety protocols to stop contracting the infection. The health experts have urged the government to come up with better and more effective measures to control the spread of coronavirus as the current methods are failing. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has hinted towards a delay in the reshuffling of cabinet for now. Speaking at the cabinet meeting held yesterday, Prime Minister Oli said no such preparations have been made to reshuffle the cabinet at the moment. Prime Minister Oli also dismissed the cabinet shuffling as rumours spread to demean the government. Prime Minister also directed the Council of Ministers to carry out their responsibility correctly, assuring their continuity in Singh Darbar. New ministers may be appointed in vacant posts, but there will be no complete reshuffle of the cabinet, Prime Minister Oli reiterated. The task force set up to close the internal NCP rift had earlier recommended the Prime Minister to shuffle the cabinet. Forgiveness worship, Chama Puja, have been offered to Red Machindranath at Patan yesterday. Limited number of locals from Patan conducted the Apology Puja amidst curfew order in Pulchok yesterday. The puja had been long due to the risk of COVID-19 infection in the valley. The recent prohibitory order in force from August 19 last month and the 4 months of COVID-19 lockdown had halted the worship. The chariot pulling procession can now be conducted in short process as the puja has been completed. A violent clash erupted between locals and police personnel at Pulchok on Sunday during the chariot procession of Arato Machindranath, the god of rain and good harvest. Police cracked down on the procession, which was organized by locals, defying the ban imposed by the administration to fight the coronavirus pandemic. The chariot will be drawn up to Bugmati following the completion of puja rituals after confirming the appropriate time. The entire procession will be concluded by September 11. Meanwhile, District Administration Office Lalitpur has restricted the gathering of more than 5 people in a public place for the next six days following the violent unrest on Thursday. The restriction order will be in force in Pulchok and surrounding areas. And now, the news from economic front. The NEPSE index has climbed to 1,510.42 points this week. Similarly, the sensitive index has also climbed to 304.73 points. This week, there were 158,656 transactions of the 186 companies in the share market, with the total transaction of 30.43 million units a share, bringing the total transaction amount to 104.3 million rupees. The same figure last week, 97.46 million rupees, which means the market experienced an increase of more than 5 million rupees in a week. This week, the companies that led the transaction list were Nepal Reinsurance Company Limited, NIC Asia Bank and NMB Bank, among others. We'll be taking a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international and sports news. Welcome back, and now the international news. The International Atomic Energy Agency (IAEA) reported Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium reached 2,105 kg, more than 300 kg than agreed in 2015. According to BBC, IAEA's revealed the details after its inspectors were given access to one of the two suspected former nuclear sites. Iran has been consistent about defending its nuclear programs, stating peaceful purpose and security. The agency said it would take samples at the second site later this month, BBC reported. Iran had signed a nuclear deal back in 2015 with the United States, Germany, France, UK, China and Russia. The deal, known as a Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, only allows Iran to stockpile as much as 202.8 kg of enriched uranium. But US President Donald Trump unilaterally pulled out of the deal back in 2018 after relations between the two nations went sour. Iran had also since then deliberately and publicly stacked on commitments it had made under nuclear record. Russian scientists have published the first report on the coronavirus vaccine, stating preliminary tests showed signs of an immune response, BBC reported. BBC has cited the report published by medical journal The Lancet that stated every participant developed antibodies to fight the infection without significant side effects. Russia licensed the vaccine for domestic use in August, becoming the first country to do so. However, Russia's European rivals have alleged the trials have been petite to prove the effectiveness and safety of virus. But Kremlin has hailed the outcomes as an answer to its critiques. Some Western experts have raised concerns about the speed of Russia's work, suggesting that researchers might be cutting corners. The British news agency quoted Russian President Vladimir Putin from last month when he announced that a Russian vaccine had passed all required checks and that one of his own daughters have also been a part of the trial. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. England pulled off a dramatic win against Australia by 2 wickets in a closely contested first T20 at the Ageas Bowl. Australia won the toss and decided to bowl first. Aston Agar, Kane Richardson and Glenn Maxwell all took 2 wickets each to limit the hosts to 162 runs in their allotted 20 overs. For England, David Mullen scored 66 off 43 deliveries, while Jos Buttler scored 44 of 29. Chasing a modest total of 163, Australia were cruising to victory, needing just 39 from 38 balls with 9 wickets remaining. But the wicket of Steve Smith, one of 2 wickets to fall in Adil Rashid's final over, sparked a collapse of 4-9 in 14 deliveries. The Aussies were in need of 15 from the final 6 balls to win the match. Marcus Stollins hit the 6 from the second delivery of Tom Curran's over, but still needed 5 off the final ball. Curran perfectly executed a yorker to see England take a 1-0 lead in the 3-match test series, as Australia fell 2 short of the England's total. The second match will be played tomorrow at the Rose Bowl Cricket Ground. Barcelona's all-time leading goal scorer Lionel Messi says he's staying at Barcelona to complete his contract after a tense 3-week of back-and-forth negotiations, BBC reported. The Argentine 33 sent a fax to Barca last Tuesday saying he wanted to exercise a clause in his contract which would allow him to leave on a free transfer. However, the club said his $700 million release clause would have to be activated by the potential buying club. I'm going to continue in the club because the president told me that the only way to leave was to pay the $700 million clause, and that is impossible, BBC reported Messi as saying. The Argentine's superstar's contract expires next summer, which clearly states that a decision to leave must be informed to the club before 10 June, and had he done so, his release clauses would not have had to be met. Messi is yet to train with his teammates since Koeman's arrival and admits the club's lack of recent success influenced his decision to ask for leave. Barcelona finished behind Real Madrid in Spanish La Liga and were eliminated in the UEFA Champions League after football restarted. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. 14 more people reported dead from COVID-19 infection in the country. 1359 new cases confirmed in the last 24 hours. Health Committee upholds country can conduct 18,000 PCR tests per day. Warns to stay away from false rumours. Health experts urge for more effective control measures from the government. Warns a situation in the valley could get worse in a month's time. A UN watchdog reports Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium 10 times the limit. IAEA reports 300 kg more stockpile than permitted. And host England pull off a remarkable final victory over Australia, lead the 3-match T20 series by 1-0. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website at janatasamachar.com. We urge all our viewers to follow healthy hygienic practices to keep safe from any infection. Keep washing your hands, keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.